with the Maven, and how we can download and install the Maven, and how we can create the project with the Maven. Okay, this we will see today. Let's get started. Okay, here in this we will discuss on what actually the Maven it is, and how does we can compare with the Ant, and projects and dependencies and artifacts. How can we create all these, and how can we build a file using the Maven, and how we can issue the build related plugins and others, and how we can manage the dependencies like update, edit, and we can add or delete the dependencies. And we'll also see multi-module related builds, and IDE and such repositories using the Maven. So initially first we'll start with the what is a Maven. So Maven is actually called as a build tool. There is two build tools for our multi-module projects. The one is the Maven and another one is the Gradle. So Maven is one of the important build tool which will create the automatic updation of the configurations and others, and it takes a very less configuration for building of the project. So this is one of the best build tool, and it uses the in our old applications like J2E applications will be used the Ant based build tools. We'll create the Ant notations and annotations. Using that we will make a build of the project. So that is actually called as a procedural based building, and Maven based building is a structural. So we need to follow a particular structure of the Maven, that is Maven file structure will be followed. So using that structural process we can build the file, and it is also uses the different types of benefits for dependencies. So using that also we can get a benefit with the Maven. So Maven also has an advantage of managing of dependencies, and you can download the dependencies required from the Maven repository, and you can add them into the build path, or Maven itself it adds all these dependencies in the build path. So we need not to make a manual configuration of these all dependencies, and it also manages the repositories, and whatever the common repositories or common artifacts or jar files which are required for our project, those all will be managed by the Maven. So we need not to check manually what jar files are added or not, and how to update the jar files. If there's any version differences are there in the jar files, and then we need to manually update those all jar files. So that is not required in the Maven based projects. So Maven life cycle is generally given as initially we'll start with the life cycle of a validation of process. First it validates the Maven structure, whether the Maven project is properly structured or not. Then it compiles the project. Then it tests the project whether the project is properly executing or not. Then it packages the project, that is it makes all the dependencies and all the jar files which are required for the project, those all will be combined and makes it as a one package. Then it installs that Maven project. So that is whenever we are before deploying it, we will be installed into our system for checking of it, and remote system also. If it is to be executed on the remote system, then we need to install it in the remote system. So then we will deploy our project, so that the user can easily access our project and can use our project. Okay, Maven generally has three types of life cycles. One is a default life cycle, another one is a clean life cycle, and third one is a site based life cycle. Default is a normal life cycle, and clean is so whenever we are using a clean life cycle, we are removing our complete project from the system. So it will also follow the same particular structure for cleaning of the application, cleaning of the project. So that life cycle is called as a clean life cycle. And site is used for whenever we want deploying as a var file. like a web page or website, then we'll call it as the Maven lifecycle of a site based. Next we will start with how the Maven can be installed. To install the Maven will be used with the site is maven.apache.org. So from there we can download our Maven. So just we will check that. So this is the website which is used for Maven download. So here you can find a recent version of the Maven. So that is actually for Windows based applications we can use GIF files. If it is a Unix or Linux or Mac based the systems, then you can use the tar file, tar.gz files. So for me it is a Windows operating system, so I am downloading this Apache Maven 3.9.9 bin zip file, and it is already downloaded. So I have Apache Maven 3.9.9 bin zip file. This is the zip folder. So once you are downloaded this, just open this folder. So here you will be get the zip file, extract it. So you will get a folder like Apache Maven 3.99 bin file, and within that you will be have your actual Maven repository or libraries. So this is a structure of the Maven the downloadable application. So bin and boot and configuration and lib. So within the bin will have a command or exe file which is called as the MVN. So using this actually will execute all the commands which are required for the Maven and for creating of the Maven project, and for to do the different types of a building of a project or other things will do with the help of this command only. So this command is very important for us. So once you downloaded this and unzip it, so now we need to create one environment variable which is called as a Maven home. That you need to create with this path. So up to the Maven folder, so just copy this path and specify in the environment variables. Will be specify in the environment variables, edit system environment variables. There you can enter into the environment variables, and this is the Maven home. Actually for creating of environment variables we'll use a new button, and then we'll specify the required variable name and then the path of the variable. So the same I have done already. This is the Maven home variable and with all the path of the Maven. So once you specified this, we need to update the path variable also. So just go to the path variable and edit this, and add one more value in the path as %maven home %/bin. So you are specifying the bin folder in the path to whenever you are using a MVN command, it will search for that command within this path variable in the bin folder. So once you have done this, OK, and then OK, then OK, close it. So now once you are downloaded and once you are set up all the environment variables of your Maven, then will be then we can test the Maven whether it is working properly or not. That you can do with the help of a MVN-V. This is the version to display the Maven version that you can check from the command prompt. So for that we have a small steps. This is the actually the steps are like first you need to set your Java JDK folder in the program files of it. Java home variable we need to set. Then we can execute the Maven version. So this is the command for your Java home. So this is the command set Java _home program files /java/jdk-22. So this is the actual my JDK version folder that is within the program files. I have Java and JDK-22. So once you have set this, Then you can execute the mvn-v or -version. You can execute it so that it will shows the your Maven version in your system. So this is the Maven version information of your system, and it also gives the Windows 11 version 10 and AMD 64 family Windows. Okay, this is also, it shows you. So once you have done this, so this is a very careful thing, you need to be careful about this. For this you can do one thing. Within your system variables, you will be already have the variable with the program files, so that I am not specifying directly the program files, I am just using the variable that you can see with the set command. Once you give the set command, it shows the all the environment variables available. So within that, it shows the environment variable as the program files. So this variable I am using in that Maven home, Java home variable, Java home. Here I have used that variable, but here in the command it doesn't show you the variable. But whenever you are using our set command, we will be use that command, because the program files has a space, program space files, so it doesn't works whenever I used without specifying this. Whenever I tried to display the Maven version, I'm getting an error as Java_home environment variable is not defined correctly. So that what I have done is, that is whatever the program files variable are already available in the environment variables, the same variable I am using here in the Java home. So then I am able to work. So once it is done, then I am able to see the version of a Maven, and it is also working with the Maven command. So unless you are not doing this, it doesn't work. Okay, so do that one. And next we will test the Maven, this is the testing of the Maven. Then I have done to create a Maven project. So for that we need to create a folder. So I have changed to the particular folder, and I am just creating a folder as md Maven_sample, and then change to that folder Maven_sample folder. Then you can create a project with the command as mvn space. This is the artifact ID. This is the plugin actually. So arche archetype :generate. So this will create the project. So once you have specified this plugin, it starts creating a project, and it will install all the plugins which are required and all the libraries and jar files required. And it also creates a POM file, that is project object model file. And then it starts the building of the project, and it creates all the required structure of the project, and finally it shows that build successful. Meanwhile, it asks for the group ID and artifact ID and others. You need to choose the artifact type and others. For that, you need not to give the particular information, you just give the some numbers which will be considered as your new group ID, new artifact ID. Okay, I'm just going to the last. So here it asks for group ID, artifact ID, version and others. You just give the numbers. You need not to you need not to remember, and you need not to give the particular numbers. You can give any of the numbers. So that will be considered as your own artifact ID, your own group ID and others. So this is, it shows the build is successful and time and others. Okay. So this is the project creation for using the Maven. So this is the Maven project creation. Once the project is created, you can also check the POM file, project object model file, that is also you can see. And another thing is that you also have the configuration information in the POM file. So that configuration information is divided into the 4 types. One is a project identification, second is the dependencies, third is the plugins, and fourth is the other settings. So here this is the project creation what we have done up now, the same thing. And this is the POM file. So you can see this is the project is started, and this is the project name and others, and it gives a model version and group ID and artifact ID and these all. So this is actually, we have given some random numbers. You can give the names or numbers, whatever it is. And it also contains the dependencies. So by default it adds the test dependency, that is a JUnit. Remaining dependencies you can add by your own, by opening a form.xml. You can add your required dependencies. So up to now we have created a project, and we have seen how to install the Maven and how to test it and how to create the project with the Maven, and how the POM file will be created and how the structure of the POM file. Now we'll see the directory structure of the Maven project. So we'll have the pom.xml file is a main configuration file for our project, and src folder. Within that we will have the main folder and test folder. Main, which contains 3 more folders as a Java, resources and web app. Java contains all the Java related code files. Resources contains all your library files and jar files. Web app contains all your view files like XML or HTML or JavaScript files, CSS, all that will be there in the web app. And test contains the Java and resources, which contains the test related files, where you can call your IDs, that is APIs, and you can test it. And in the target folder you will have the classes and jar or var files. In the classes it shows all the compiled or build classes, and it also contains the jar files which are created after the build process, and var files if it is a web application. So using the Maven command you can also clean your files, that is you can clean your target folder and you can rebuild it, and you can do the compilation. Whenever you are changing the code you can compile it, and you can test your Maven project with the test command. That is it just checks with the APIs or the methods which are called within the test that will be invoked, and you can create the Maven package and Maven installations, and you can do the deploying of the project. So the commands all will be executed with the Maven. These are the complete commands of your Maven lifecycle. And using the Maven we can also create some reports like site. It generates a website report, and PMD, which reports a PMD type of a report. Computer, these reports are what actually your project it is, and what is the structure of your project, and what are the files available in your project. Those all will be displayed with these reports. Okay. And whenever you want to manage the dependencies, so one thing is, if you know the library name or if you know the version name, you can directly edit the POM file and you can add your required dependency. Otherwise you can go for the Maven repository, and there you can take your required dependency and you can add into the POM file. That you can do with the whenever you want to see your Maven repository. So just go in the browser, you just give it as Maven repository, and you can see the first link is the Maven repository. There you can go and you can search for your required libraries. So here you can type say for example I want to take a Spring Boot dependency. You can type a Spring Boot, and it shows all the dependencies like Spring Boot, starter test, starter web, and auto configure type of these things. And you can open your required dependency, and you will have these are different versions of the dependencies. You can click on any one particular version, and it shows your dependency command, and you just copy it, and then go to your POM file and you can paste it. So this is the same process will be follow for any type of dependencies. Generally we'll take a recent version of the dependency, otherwise we'll be faced with the version problems, so that we need to take the recent versions of the dependencies. So similarly we can add our required dependencies, and For our project, we'll be have the dependencies of a testing related dependency, JUnit related dependency. For each dependency, we'll be have the group ID, artifact ID, and versions, scope of the dependency. That is where when it is to be added, that is when the dependency is to be executed. That is called as a scope. These two are the testing related, so that